Coming to you guys live from Raleigh, North Carolina with the Wolf Tip. Today we're going to talk about being strategic. And for those of you who don't already know, my primary gig is residential lending. So if you're looking for a mortgage, of course, give me a shout. I love to analyze your finances and let you know what you can afford, get you a loan that's appropriate, etc. However, I do also run a high volume of applications, which means I look at financial scenarios all day, every day. I talk to people about their finances all day, every day. And when you've been doing it for so long, you're doing it 15 years or so, you start to pick up on patterns. And you can tell there's a difference between the financials of those of us who think strategically, as if we're playing the life of chess, and those of us who just allow life to unfold. And much of that comes out in your savings patterns, so as well as your debt patterns. So today's tip is start being more strategic. If you're strategic now and you are able to think 2 years, 3 years, 5 years out, which means that you have a written 2-year, 3-year, 5-year plan is written, and not just in your head. It's not a freestyle rap, you know. And compared to those who are thinking a decade out. Now, some people say, well, things don't always go as planned. That's true. Plans don't necessarily fail. People fail to plan is another saying. Plans are structured, but plans have to be tweaked. Nothing always goes exactly as planned, but if you have a plan of action, then you would simply tweak it as life happens. But it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. So let's think about something that you guys can work on to truly learn the lesson of being able to deal with life like chess and be far more clicks out than you may be right now. And one is retirement. What I want you guys to do is I want you to do a mock budget. That means I want you to sit down and write out what you believe, what your budget will be upon retirement, which means you need to choose a retirement date to look at your current career and figure out, well, how would you be taken care of from a medical standpoint? Would you have to pay for medical insurance? If so, go online, research the trends to see what medical insurance will cost you upon retirement. Does your company provide you with any medical insurance provided you retire there and receive pension? Is that included? Will you be counting on the government to cover you with Medicare, Medicaid, whichever one is for older people, can't remember, and using that, will you be purchasing insurance, as I mentioned before? And then I want you to also look at housing. Are you projected to have your home paid off upon retirement? Perhaps your plan is to fund your 401k well enough to cover the balance that will be on your mortgage upon your retirement date, which means you will look at your amortization schedule, see what your balance will be upon retirement if you plan on staying in your current home until you up through retirement. And so you look at the amortization schedule, which will be in your loan package. You can go down to that date because it's a 30-year mortgage. So if you got a mortgage at 40 years old, you plan on retiring at 65, well, you still have 4 or 5 more years left on your mortgage. Look to see what that balance is, match it up what you are projected to have in your 401k. Maybe that's your plan. Maybe your plan is to have the home paid off 10 years prior to your desired retirement date. And your plan is to take what you were going to be paying, what you would have paid in your mortgage, minus taxes and insurance, take that amount, your principal and interest basically, and then project that out in whatever type of investment tool you typically use with the average return, meaning that, let me slow that down so you can get an understanding. So let's say, for example, I'm going to retire at age 65, hypothetically. And let's say I look at my property, I say, well, based on my amortization schedule and how long I finance the property, my house should be paid off by the time I'm 50. So part of my plan may be to take my principal and interest payment, because you still have to pay taxes and insurance, and I'll then just deposit that into my brokerage account each month, And if I look at the historic return, meaning that how much interest I normally make on in that account, the funds that I put in that account, I will use that as the interest. You can just plug it into a simple compound interest calculator and project it out to see how much monies I would accumulate in that 10 years, and I can also add that into my retirement. Those are just a few things that you would have to think through. Now, of course, there are several moving parts and several details that you have to take into consideration, but I want you to try and just sit down, you and your accountability partner, you and your significant other, and just map out how much your life is anticipated to cost upon retirement and how much income you will have coming in. Whether, and that you may incorporate Social Security, you may incorporate an investment property that cash flows, you may incorporate dividing your 401k projected balance up over the years and take withdrawals from that, your IRA, your stocks, etc. What some of you guys are going to find is that you have to have your damn money when you get ready to retire. That should open your eyes and stop allowing your life to unfold. And then you would have to create a pension. For those of you who are like me, who do not, there is no pension plan waiting on me upon retirement. If I don't create an income for my family upon retirement, then we will not have one. So that is thinking strategic as it relates to retirement. Of course, you would want to think strategic as it relates to all of your finances. Sending your children to school. My daughter got scholarship over at Meredith, and for about $16,000. However, once you subtract that from the high cost of Meredith, it's still going to cost me over $30,000 to send her to Meredith per year. Scratch that, Jack. We evaluated the cost of UNCG. She got into UNCG. She and my wife are headed there now to go take a look at the campus. If she were to go there, it may cost me $16,000, $17,000 per year. That includes, the dorms. So $16,000, $17,000 per year. Now, we strategically put her in the STEM program, and against her wishes, we had her stay an extra year. So now when she starts UNCG, she'll start as a junior. So my kids' college is going to cost me $32,000 for the entire 2 years. And we just saved up for it, and we'll pay that. When she graduates, she'll not have student loans, and she'll not have student loans, and I'll not have the burden of hoping that of having student loans weigh on me from a debt standpoint. That's thinking strategic. Maybe some of you were more strategic and have some cooler ideas. Share them, because she doesn't go up to school until August. So if you got some cool ideas that I can use to save some more money, great. So again, just start thinking, because if you don't think that, the way society is structured now, there's a great deal of science that goes into capturing business, getting you to spend your money. The way the economy is structured is structured based on you spending money. It's not structured based on you saving a bunch of money. This is why during Bush's administration, hell, he gave everyone back an actual cash, just gave everyone checks so you can go and spend your money. How crazy is that the government felt like they can just bank on you not saving a damn thing. They give you a check so you can go and stimulate the economy. This is why we cut taxes so people can spend money to stimulate the economy. But you don't want to be the heavy stimulator. You want to get stimulated. No point intended. But you want to, you have to be strategic, guys. If you have a family and your checking and your savings it is like $25 in your checking just to keep it open, $300 in your savings, and you don't have a 401k, or you don't even know what the hell is in your 401k, you're killing yourself upon retirement. You're just killing yourself, and you're not setting an example, because that breeds additional stress. It's additional stress on your relationship. It's additional stress on your parenting, and you only think back one click because you're playing checkers, and you never really realize the era. You gotta think further back when issues come about. Well, man, how did this come about? Don't think about the first click back. You think way back. Where did your decision making go wrong, so you don't make the same mistake? And when you are spending your dollars, think several clicks ahead, as far ahead as you can, so that you can be in the game of chess and not the game of checkers. All right, guys, I got a little long-winded today, but on my way to the office, and I left a little earlier than I normally leave. Normally, I started going a little bit later, so I don't have to deal with this traffic, and I just work from home. But today, I left a little bit earlier because I'm gonna stop and grab breakfast because my wife didn't cook me breakfast, and I've gotten so spoiled that I just left. I didn't even cook breakfast. I stopped by and spent some of my spending money, because I still got a little spending money left for this 2-week allotment, and I figure I'm gonna splurge and get myself a breakfast burrito, and I'll drink the free coffee at work. Still gotta keep it cheap, so I'm gonna splurge and get the sandwich, but I'm not gonna pay for the combo. Boom. All right, guys, that is a tip. The long wolf. We're gonna call that wolf talk. We're not even gonna call it wolf tip. We're gonna call it wolf talk. And you guys get out there and save that money. All right, have a good one.